Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good week. It's Friday, November 4th. Holy crap, what a day in the market. SPY had enough volatility today in the first 2 hours to cover like a week's worth. This was crazy. GME also getting exciting here. We've got about 50 minutes to close. Big volume candles, a couple of them. Sub up like I'm coming down. Happy Money sticks around. Follow us on Twitter at HappyMoneyYT, as well as our Discord server link for those in the description. I'll show you guys the futures I did today. Held through like $1,200 in losses and just wildness. I did just get calls actually on GME for next week though. This pop in volume is interesting. Same with this one, mixed with that price action. Yeah, I'm still thinking we're probably going to retest this sometime this month. So, also, loop ring. You guys pointed out in Discord. Dang it, who does that? Loop ring ripped up 50% today, and last time, loop ring's kind of front run GME. So last time it's had a big move, this big move, March 19th. Up until the 30th. So that's the case. Here's March 19th on GME. Yep. So I don't know if we're gonna get the retest or the big move starting next week, but this 25 floor is pretty solid. I think definitely a good price down here. And yeah, this pops of volume. This is all very good looking. The daily never flipped bearish. Our MACD stayed bullish. And I think the SPY, the market might rip. We might have a epic bear rally into midterms, which is just on Tuesday, which would be just Monday, Tuesday. But maybe might even get somewhat of a Santa rally, depending on midterms somewhat, I think. But historically, we have a rally after midterms as well. Given this has historically been a bear market as well though, so who knows. But this GME is starting to do some weird stuff, so I got some calls. Today was freaking wild in the volatility world. So jobs data came out, so strong jobs, healthy economy. Should have been taken negatively for the market because Powell keep raising interest rates aggressively. And it came out and it was strong. And so, yeah, so it dumped initially. Here's pre-market, came out right at 8:30, dumped and then ripped up and then started to climb. So one little data set in it could have shown that jobs might be starting to slow down, basically, and the bulls ran on that. And it was like mostly all the jobs data was strong though, which would be bad for the stock market at this point. At any rate, ripped up here. So I learned a lesson again in patience. I feel like I learn patience often, but keeps coming back. Came out. I took a short here, 4 micros on the S&P. Here, ripped down. I tried to actually close it because it was up like $400. I didn't close it in time. This was so fast. Then I came up here and I'm like, all right, I'll just hold it. And it came up. I'm like, oh my goodness. And with futures, what I've been learning is basically just holding. You're not worrying about the time decay. So the only issue is if it keeps going against you and doesn't stop, you're gonna get margin called. If you don't have enough margin for it. But it came down here, so I was planning on just closing it out and didn't get back to even break even. So I just held it, and it came up here, and I was like, oh shoot, I was down like 1,200. And I'm just thinking short squeeze, and people in Discord are like, oh, we're squeezing. I'm like, oh gosh. Just held it. And then I actually thought about, on this engulfing candle, I thought about closing it here and going along. But I was like, I'm not trying to overtrade it. I'll just leave it alone. So I left it alone. Came up here, and then, I mean, this is a huge range a SPY made. Way up here. Slowly came back down. I couldn't believe it. Finally came to break even. I was like, wow. I closed it out right around here. Just a little bit of profit. And then it came down. But the SPY, the moves today, I mean, this volatility was insane. On this engulfing candle, I actually went long and just set a stop for a little profit. Could have done pretty well if I closed out up here. or on this engulfing candle, but I just let it actually stop out. It came back down and then went long on this engulfing candle right here. And then this one I just held through, and it was just making this bull flag, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is fine, everything's fine. And then it broke through that range it was in. I was like, oh crap. And then it broke through the support. I'm like, oh, so I'm just holding. And yeah, then this thing ripped. Then we had this one, and I'm still holding that now. So here we are rallying. I'm on the daily, it's still bullish to me. On the daily chart, still bullish MACD. No signs of reversal, honestly. Shorter time frames are just tons of volatility and chop, and it can be frightening. The hourly was kind of a head and shoulders here. It looks like it's trying to break that now. We're also getting a bullish MACD crossover, which will be concluded in 15 minutes. Green will not be open and close over the 9, but it will have busted through it, which is better than nothing. Look at this thing go. Holy crap. I'll show you the futures, actually. So yeah, I mean, on the daily, we might still get kind of an epic rally out of this, because I mean, jobs data came out, and that was the big data we were waiting for, and it was bad, and the market's rallying, so doesn't care. We're gonna go. Let me show you guys. So what 4 micros look like with this level of action, basically. So let's see these right here. So up 0.848382%, and then this is the dollar amount, and this is just 4 of them. So you could do if you just do a mini, then that's 10 of these, and then this is 75 grand of basically margin leverage. Let me see if you can do that. Yeah. And then I also opened up UNG long, so natural gas long. GME looks like it's kind of shutting down. That volume is very interesting, though. I'm hoping maybe there might be news this weekend or after hours. UNG and oil, so natural gas and oil is kind of waiting for a direction. I wasn't sure on it either way. The shorter term was head and shoulders. Today, I waited for this candle to just about close in the hourly, get a bullish MACD and a green over the 9 right here. And it did that, and I'm like, it looks like it's going to break this head and shoulders, because on the daily it was a little bearish, or a little bullish to the bias, just with the bullish MACD and the green over the 9, but it just did look like a range. Now it looks like it's finally breaking out of that range. So once that hourly candle closed, I looked for an entry, and it was basically right here, and then it came down, and I put an order in down here. So went long here. This is about where my order is. It's on the futures though, it's not on UNG. So yeah, holding that one. This is just one, but since UNG moves more, has a bigger moves than the SPY, say, it moves more, which is nice. I like trading natural gas. So this one's only 15 grand in margin, but since it's moving quite a bit, you're getting big gains. This one's up 600 bucks. This one's up 600, but it's 75 grand in margin. So you can kind of see the difference there. So natural gas, yeah, come into winter. We'll see what happens. There was some news on it too. I can't remember what it was that caused it to rally, as well as oil, but not in oil at this point. Oil, the chart's a little, we'll see. Oh, weekly. That's interesting. I mean, looked at the weekly on there. Yeah, it kind of broke out of that downward resistance line, so potentially it's just gonna rip, but I'm kind of waiting a bit for it. SPY, on the other hand, look at that thing go. GME, yeah, I guess GME was pretty boring today, other than these little volume pops. This one we got right here, and this one back here, kind of just coming down. All the gaps are filled, I believe. Yeah, and we're kind of getting into that range. It looks like it tested this support down here and held nicely on that 25-38 area, right around there. So we could see some ups next week, especially if the market's having a bear rally. Maybe the next 2 weeks, maybe just by the end of November sometime. Yeah. Another time, so I showed you LRC, how that ripped here. And I was looking for other times when it's come down like this aggressive to see if there's any time before a rally. There was one right here coming into the split where we had this aggressive like 4 days before a rally. This is a pretty aggressive drop, I'd say, given it was off of a peak, but I mean, I guess off of the peaks you get like there's a 3-day kind of rally down, not rally, but downward move. So yeah, I think we still could be in one of these kind of double top formations where we kind of retest the high. And hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's just the beginning of a huge wedge that's about to break out that I put here on the weekly. So yeah, it just kind of keeps going. But at some point, I think once this is fully broken out and then it comes down and retests that wedge, the whole trajectory, I think, of GameStop stock, yep, will be up. So we'll see when that happens. So yeah, futures trades today. That's them. Yeah, just those few I did. I felt a little lucky today because I held through a lot of volatility. Yesterday we realized like 1200 on here, and today we're up 1200, but I'm probably not going to close these. Hold these into over the weekend. Hopefully get some big gap ups on them. On the options, I don't know what I did. Okay, just those calls. So I just bought a few calls and we saw that volume jump. And I need to roll these puts. So let's see if I can show you guys how to do this. So my margin buying power right now says 16,920. Cash buying power says it's $5,000. Not quite sure how they equate those because the cash buying power doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Maybe that's settled. I'm not sure. But so basically these puts, I would just roll them. I can roll them to next week for the same strike for $42. And then I'll still have all that margin. So let's see if that works. See if it'll fill. I'm not sure, but if it'll fill, my margin should stay the same that it is right now, which would be nice. And SPY today was so volatile. Hope you guys had a good week. Jump on Twitter. I'll try and do a Twitter Spaces. Talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. All right, see you on Discord. This is looking nice. Peace out.